The imagery for today's build is a conductor. I really like the idea of a bard conductor, someone who is organizing the battlefield and making the battlefield play to their music. That's what this build is all about. Let's jump into it. In order to pull this build off, I went Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin are great for the extra support they can give, as well as buffing our saves. From there, I went with an interesting stat array. We want to make sure that we have 14 in dexterity for our medium armor. Past that, charisma is our primary, constitution is our secondary, and wisdom is our tertiary, although our wisdom needs to be at least 13 to be able to multiclass. The first level we take is going to go into the Order Domain Cleric. This is going to give us medium armor and shields, a massive buff to Bard's pitiful defenses, but more importantly, it's going to give us the ability that every time we cast a spell that targets an ally, that ally can make an opportunity attack. Now from here on out, we are going into Bard, and starting from the first level, we get some awesome synergies. Bards get silvery barbs. When you use silvery barbs, you're going to shut down an enemy's excellent dice roll. You then get to choose a teammate who gets advantage on their next attack. Now because your spell targeted that teammate, they can now make an opportunity attack at advantage. Your rogues are going to love you. Now of course, this only works well if you have a teammate who has really good single attacks, but let's be honest, you probably do. Another great spell for this feature is Bless. Bless is going to allow you to buff several teammates. Then you can choose one of those teammates and they're going to get that D4 bonus to the attack that you just gave them, instantly making that attack better. Another great example of this is Healing Word. You can pick up an ally and they get an attack right away before they get knocked again. Now we're going to be targeting our allies with a whole bunch of spells throughout our career, so this is just going to continue happening, but those are some staples. Now from here, we're going to continue into Glamour Bard, my favorite of the bards, and my favorite feature out of all the bard features is Mantle of Inspiration. Mantle of Inspiration just feels so bard, and a lot of bard features don't feel bard to me, so I'm really happy to have it here. As a bonus action, and once you expend one of your bardic inspirations, you get to target as many teammates as you have your charisma modifier. They're each going to get some temporary HP, and then they can use their reaction to move half their movement without taking opportunity attacks. So not only are you buffing your team's defense, you're also letting them reposition, whether offensively or defensively. You can pull your mage out of the clutches of the orcs. You can put your barbarian right next to their mages. You can do this all at once. Now if you consider that Aid is a level 2 spell that's essentially giving 15 temporary HP, and then you consider that even at level 3, once we get this feature, we are giving the same 15 temporary HP to our allies, and it's only costing us a bardic inspiration instead of a second level spell slot. And then when you realize it's using a bonus action instead of an action, and then you realize that as you level up it gets bigger, eventually getting to up to 60 temporary HP for a bardic inspiration. Yeah, Mantle of Inspiration is a beast. So let's take a note here that we are absolutely guzzling our teammates' reactions. Both of our primary support features use their reactions, so we need to be very cognizant of when they are in the turn order, when they're getting their reactions back, if they're going to require them to do something else with them. Things like that is something we need to be thinking about. Now of course, going along with the support theme, we went Hobgoblin, and I just want to make a note about Hobgoblin's help action. I believe our best option is Spite. Spite is going to allow us to give our teammate advantage on their next attack. If they hit, which they're likely to do, then that person who got hit is going to have disadvantage on their next attack. Now, in a way, that's protecting our teammates' HP. And we have another version of help that gives a d6 plus our proficiency bonus in temporary HP, but I find that one inferior. One reason is that I think, just on average, a d6 plus your proficiency bonus is going to be less than the missing an attack. But furthermore, is we are already giving temporary HP with our bardic inspirations, and we don't want to double up on that. So this is a way to have both our cake and eat it too. Now, of course, our final bonus action gives us that extra movement speed, and it's pretty situational, so it won't be coming up as often. And furthermore, we have the bardic inspiration to give our teammates more movement speed anyways, and so if it does come up more often, we're probably going to be using that. So at the end of the day, I think we're going to be using Spite a lot. Now, a lot of people bring up Mastermind when I do a Hobgoblin build because that extra 30 feet of range is good, but it's not necessary. You don't have to take Mastermind if you're going Hobgoblin. We are a backliner, meaning we can position behind the front line if we need to, give them the help action, and then we can back off as far as we can, and then we have the AC on top of it to protect ourselves. It's okay to go within 5 feet range sometimes. Now past this, we're just going to keep going Glamour Bard. We're eventually going to get our bonus action commands with our concentration, which is fantastic for just guzzling up our enemy's action economy. I'm going to keep focusing on being primarily a support, but also a debuffer. We're going to be a bard's bard, in other words, and we've just done a small detour along the way. How would you build your conductor? Let me know in the comments down below. This build was inspired by one of our Patreons, Fledgling. Fledgling, always appreciate you and your amazing builds. You're the man. If you want to show support to the channel as well as get some awesome benefits along the way, consider checking out our Patreon. But with that, my friends, I hope you have yourselves an incredible day, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you then.